Do you believe these three myths if you are always want your kid to speak another language, but perhaps these three myths are the things that are stopping you from moving forward? We're going to get into the three myths that I find most common when I'm talking to families that are interested in their kiddos speaking another language. And these are some of the concerns that they have. All right, we're going to get into it. And I'd love to know your thoughts on this. If you think this still, or if you thought that and you moved through it and you're having success with language learning, I would love to hear all about it. So before we begin, I'm Juliana. I get kiddos speaking another language in 5 minutes. I was raised monolingual, failed Spanish at 14, became a polyglot, and now I teach kiddos how to speak quickly, 5 minutes with our method, and getting kids fluent forever. Let's dive into it. I've got my notes over here. Myth number 1. This is one that I got on TikTok the other day. If my child has a speech delay, is it a good idea to introduce another language? Short answer, it is a good idea. Okay, let's back this up a bit. Language learning can be done at any age, at any level, whatever, for this mom, whatever speech delay they may have. It's not so much whether they should or shouldn't. It's more so about how you go about the language learning. So I'm going to refer to traditional language learning versus our methodology. And traditional language learning is really focused on a lot of memorization. A lot of memorization and a lot of rules. Okay? So that, we'll call that traditional method, right? Our method is language learning through phrases, chunks, stories. So comparing the two, if your kiddo is struggling already and having speech delay, to like put on a bunch of new rules for that kiddo is going to probably be a little more stressful. But the good news, there are communities like me, that other great language communities for kids that scaffold, right? What does scaffold mean? It means that you're introducing language through like different levels. You're giving them bite sizes. You're giving them language that's in chunks and phrases and in meaningful context. That the brain absorbs really, really nicely without a lot of friction. But when you do it the traditional way with just random isolated lists of words, the brain has to work really hard to remember. So this might aggravate the kid. So science shows that no, your kiddo it's not going to harm the child if you're having speech delay and you want to add a new language. That is not going to be a problem. Just make sure that you do your research and see what their methodology is. If it looks very much grammar rules, I'd steer away from that. But if you want something different, like language mindset, we do it through stories. And we're seeing great success with kiddos. And this is what I love most about our methodology, is that it's completely inclusive to everybody. I do not remember rules. My memory feels like, I don't know, sometimes I'm like, what did I do last weekend? So this is, our methodology has been proven to see amazing results for any kind of type of learner. So there it is. All right, taking my notes here. Myth 2. Kids have to master one language or get really comfortable. They have to get a certain level before they start another one. All right. So I'm a polyglot. So I've got myself fluent in 3 languages, and I continue to learn like 4 or 5-ish at a time. I mean, at a time, it's not like every single day I'm learning 6 languages. It's that I don't wait to feel like I have to reach a certain point. Now, this depends on you and your child, what your capacity is. But to give you a general idea, no, your kiddo doesn't need to master or get to a certain level before they start another one. Because our methodology is so amazing and we get kiddos speaking and they feel confident right away, they're going to already like embody that identity of that speaker right away. So they're not waiting months and years to get comfortable in language. Like that's why I love our community and our methodology so much, is that your kiddo could start studying a language with us, and then within at least like, I mean, right away, because our comics are amazing. We start with the comics and they're speaking. They're like, oh, I can do this. So it's relative. Like, what's mastery? What's fluency? You know what I mean? This is kind of a sticky subject. It depends on your threshold. It depends on what you want to take on. Can you learn multiple languages at the same time? Yes. If you focus on one language, will you make faster and deeper progress? Yes, because you're focusing on one thing. But it depends on it totally depends on what you want. If you come from a family where mom speaks language 1 and dad speaks language 2, and you want them to speak language 1 and 2 and language 3, you just have to be strategic about it. And strategic just means like not everything can get the same amount of focus. So think about it. It's like, okay, language 1, language 2, we're going to dedicate time, or maybe books or little rituals or events for those languages. And then for language 3, it's going to be a little bit on the back burner, but it's still there. You know what I mean? It's like, so that's how I manage learning 9 languages, and at all different levels. My Korean is like really 0 right now, and I miss it so much. So I might do like a deep dive and do like 3 months of like intensive Korean and do it 3 times a week with a tutor. And then I might back up a bit because I'm going to focus on Chinese. So that's my methodology of that. So to answer your question, it would be like, no, you don't have to wait for mastery. What is mastery? Fluency is forever fluent kids. So we coin our community. So like, I am not a native Spanish speaker. I'm not a native French speaker or Italian speaker. I will continue to be learning those languages for the rest of my life. Bottom line. Those are my 3 that I'm very confident in. That would say fluent. Okay. Myth number 3. I love this. If my child mixes languages, they're confused. No, they're not. This is natural. This is very natural. Okay. So it says here that we see that as a problem. If your child's mixing languages, that's not a problem. It's actually a sign of code switching. And it's a sign of like intelligence. They're calling it like a sign of linguistic intelligence, of being able to manipulate and use the words at the right time. It's brilliant. So if your kiddo gets confused, totally okay. Totally normal. Embrace it, accept it, and do it. No, it's totally fine. All right, let me just see my notes if there's anything else I want to share. I think it's really, all right, this is my final, like, my to wrap this up. Okay, this was good. It was nice to write these notes down and like make sure that I'm covering all my points here. So myth number 1, your child with speech delay. Don't wait for the perfect time for your kiddo. Don't be nervous of speech delay. It's not going to be a problem. Myth 2, mastering 1 language. Your brain doesn't really think in like start and finish. So jump in, just be kind of strategic and just embrace the process. So yes, it can totally happen. 1, 2, 3, many. Notice that you're not going to be able to give all the amount of time to each of them. You have to define what your goals are, right? So there's a period of time that I would really, really focus a lot on Farsi. And because I was seeing my Persian friends, so I focus a lot on Farsi. And then if there's, if I'm going to see some Spanish-speaking friends, I'll focus a lot on Spanish at that time. Okay. And then what was our third one? Oh yeah, the confusion. When your kiddo's confusing languages, it's not a problem. They're communicating. It's intelligence in the brain. They're communicating effectively. It's nothing to be nervous about. It all works out. And it's kind of cool. Like there's sometimes that I get stuck in my brain. I'm like, oh, the French word is in front, and I'm trying to say a Spanish word, and like the French word gets interfered, and it's fine, no problem. It works itself out. The brain is brilliant. It works itself out. If you want your kiddo to speak a language in 5 minutes, I have a comic for you. I want you to comment which language that you want me to send over to you, and it will be, your kiddo can introduce themselves in 5 minutes in that language. We have 9 different languages: Spanish, French, Italian, German, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Farsi, English. and they all have audio. So I'll send over that first comic for you, introducing yourselves, and then the next one could be ordering food, and then the next one could be talking about your favorite sports. Okay? Make sure that you subscribe so that we do not miss each other in the world of the internet, and that I can help you get your kiddos speaking another language fast and being a forever fluent kid for the rest of their lives, and just exploring the world. All right, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.